Oh shit, I think this is episode 2.
Episode 2, guys!
Holy shit balls, guy. Alright, cool, we actually did it. In honor of Pride Month, this episode is about bisexuality. Questions, queries, and interesting little things about bisexuality.
Yes! I fucking love to talk about how bi I am!
Wow!
Woo!
Me too! I'm bi. Hi!
Hi, I'm bi too. We decided that we're gonna start by answering parents' questions. We found a little very helpful website, questions that parents have when they find out their kids are gay or something of the sort. So the first question is,
What do you do when you find out that your child is gay?
okay, well, in my personal answer and opinion, they probably were terrified to tell you, and it's a big step for them to actually confide in you. So you should just listen. You should maybe do some research if you aren't educated in the community, and just be open-minded. Know that your child is perfectly fine and perfectly perfect, still your child, still the same person. They just discover something about their identity that they want to share with you, and so...
Right, and I can understand a parent not knowing something about their child for such a long time. You form this narrative or this image of your kid, and you know, you've seen them grow since they were an infant till however old they are when they decide to share this with you. And yes, they are the same person, and no matter if you have the feeling of like maybe they're going through a phase or something, let them grow. Let them figure it out.
Yeah.
Your position does not have to be against them. Just support them in a way that shows your love and affection, because there's a way to show support where you're rallying outside with a t-shirt, and unfortunately a lot of our parents are not going to do that. They are not going to be those people.
Yeah.
We're and this is not to say anything about our personal families, but we're both Latin, and in the Latin culture that is not a thing that you do or that you say or that you're proud of. That is something you hide. That is something that you don't tell people. That is, you know, people will talk.
It's particularly hard for the Latin community. I'm sure for other communities
Absolutely.
as well, but with our experiences we can tell that it's a different, special kind of struggle.
It turns into we're almost behind, I feel, with certain places. Like in America, I've seen you know, parents that are way more progressive, and they understand their children, and they're there, and they are those kind of parents that are out there supporting them, being like, okay, this is important to you, then it's important to me.
Yeah.
That.
Dude, have you seen the moms that go to the prides and like to hug the kids that have been like rejected by their families? They're like, I will be your like your mom, your...
That makes me want to cry. No, absolutely not. I have not seen that.
They are the best. Those moms, you guys are the MVPs. Like, seriously. They're... Yeah.
Look, and honestly, and if it's not your thing, that's okay. If it's not your thing and you still have a child that is expressing that they are of that LGBT community, that's fine. You don't have to support them, really. Like, as a parent, no one has to do anything. You are not forced. But it depends on what your love for your child will let you do versus what your inner monologue of the morals, of things you've learned, of this is wrong. You know, it depends on which one you decide to weigh in on.
Yeah. And it's important not to harm the child. Like, if you
Or
literally
kick them
can't...
out.
Like, exactly. Just don't fuck up their lives, please.
Like,
just let them be, like, you know, I don't know, like...
in peace.
Yes, let them be in peace.
Look,
you don't
they
have to harm
were
them.
terrified to tell you in the first place. They don't want the one person that's supposed to love them unconditionally to reject them. So actually, as a responsibility as a parent, you need to love them as much as you can, especially in a moment like that.
True.
And love them doesn't mean love them in the way you think you should love someone that's doing something wrong. It's love them 100% no matter what.
Yeah. A parent cannot influence a child's sexuality, in my opinion. Because like people argue that what if they were abused by the uncle and that's why they're gay? You know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing
But, like,
about that
that's-
statement. Like, I understand that because I've heard that before.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
heard people being like, okay, cool, this person went through trauma and they are part of the LGBT community, so that means that because of the trauma,
they
became
whatever.
rejecting of men or rejecting of women.
Yeah.
That is not how trauma works. There could be many facets of your child that led them to where they are.
You didn't do anything wrong, basically. Like that, you
You did
didn't-
everything right. You created this beautiful little fucking person that decided to trust you enough to tell you. They're
Exactly.
great. They're awesome.
And let me tell you, don't do anything wrong. Now, this is the moment when you can do something right and support your child. If you reject them, if you leave them out on the street, if you abuse them emotionally constantly because of their sexuality, then you are doing something wrong right now.
Sexual orientation is an internal, inherent, natural trait, just like what you're born with. We have green eyes, we have white skin, we have dark hair.
Yeah.
That's what we were born with, and we're bi.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we were born. That is
Exactly.
part of it. Nothing about what you do can influence your child to become gay.
Exactly.
Or anyone else. Their
Facts.
friends, their no.
Yeah, they were not like coerced into it. Like, it's
And
not-
trust me, you might think that it's so fun and trendy to be gay right now. It's
but
not
no.
that. It's not that, because when you're on the other side of the really trendy thing, you get a lot of hate. You get a lot of people saying,
The
fuck off.
hate
You're
is
saying a
still
lot of
there.
people that, like, kill you. People, you know.
violence, of course. Like just I think last week 2 lesbians were assaulted in London
Ooh.
because these men were like kiss, and they were like no, leave me alone, and they started beating the shit out of them. Like it's very much real. It's very much still alive. Homophobia, all of the things. So it's not fun, you know. It is fun. It can be fun in safe spaces.
This is
but it
why
also
we're
can
so,
be
I
dangerous.
believe that this is also why we're so bright and happy. It's like,
Yeah.
bitch, if we're gonna get beat up for this, I'm gonna be fabulous about it. Like, I'm not gonna deny it. I'm not gonna say no. Okay, so you're stoned to death for something you believe is true, so you shouldn't stand for it. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Would that go for any type of religion? Would that go for any type of other belief? Or just system of being and representing? No, it
Yeah,
wouldn't.
no.
So the next question is, how can my child be sure? Maybe he's just rebelling or experimenting.
Okay, so to that I'm gonna say it's fine if they're not sure. Questioning is a very valid thing that everybody can go through and shouldn't be judged to be. You know, you can be a straight guy and you're questioning if you're bi or gay. And so you have all the right to explore that in any way that you can. And if you explore it and figure out that that's not your thing, you're actually straight,
Cool.
there you go.
You got it.
You know, but like there's no harm in being questioning. Like I think sexuality can be fluid for many people,
Absolutely.
and so
Just because your kid wants to confide in you, that does not mean that they're sure of what they're saying. They're sure of anything. Maybe they are in the middle of experimenting, and they do. It's like, maybe I'm bi, maybe I'm gay, but obviously something on that side is calling me, and it makes sense to me. So let
Yeah.
your child do that. And I think that will also give you time to come to grips with it, because you don't have to accept it immediately. You aren't forced to put the happiest, most supportful face on. You need your time to grieve. And honestly, it is grieving. And for anyone to tell a parent that there isn't some type of grieving process when it comes to finding out something about your child that you didn't know before, then it's just
Yeah.
not true.
Yeah.
And it's not understanding the parent, because
Because-
the parents are people too.
because basically like the image of the of your child is completely turned upside down, and
Right.
so
You want grandkids. You want, you know.
which there are ways to have grandkids.
Absolutely.
It's fine. Adoption, all of these things for
And science, you can have, yeah.
There's ways, but from the side of the child, or at least in my experience, like you gotta also give your parents some room for them to process it, and however long it took you to figure out your own sexuality, they also might need some time to adapt. So as long as they're being respectful and they aren't like bashing on you,
What would that be described as? What does bashing on your child sound like?
like
And maybe it doesn't have to be extreme, because most parents, we don't know. Like,
Right.
if they're listening this far ahead, we can at least.
I guess it's like a case by case basis,
Yeah.
but like you gotta kind of like identify if your parent is trying at least or trying to educate themselves. Like if you see some progress, then okay, there's hope. If they're just blatantly like, no, you're horrible, you're going to hell, like, and there's no sign that they even want to or try to change that or educate themselves, then you need to get out of that toxic relationship. That's
With
it.
your parents, though.
Yeah, it's hard, man. It's a thing. That's another topic of families.
That'll probably be in the LGBT episode.
Chosen families is a thing. So for the people that have been rejected, like, that doesn't mean you'll never have a family. You can find your family somewhere else.
Absolutely.